Alright, so while we're waiting for all the other kids to join, I'll just quickly recap or call out the topic that we're going to cover today. So today we'll be talking more with respect to the circle theorem. What is the standard form of the circle theorem, a circle equation, how do we decode a circle equation to understand the properties of an equation, how do you look at a quadratic equation and convert that to a circle theorem. So these are some of the things we will do, and I have put some questions that we'll try solving in the class. Primarily just to see what all the concepts that we learned, how do we apply them and how do we make use of it. Hey Dave. Oh, okay. Hello Sarah.
Hello.
Okay. Fine. So while we're waiting for everybody else, let's get started. Hey Rehan, what is a circle equation? One of the dumbest questions that a teacher can ask the kids, right? But still, I'm saying, what would be coming to your mind? Hey Deep, what would be coming to your mind when we talk about a circle equation?
An equation that helps us draw a circle.
Okay. Or okay, one response is an equation that helps to draw a circle. Okay. You're thinking something.
Is it like it's a kind of like the formula for every standard circle?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you would find, but like something to find everything that you could use for every circle.
Okay. All right. Dhanvin, any thought? If we talk about a circle equation, what does it mean? Again, see, my approach is always I start from the most basic point and then we keep adding to it. Hey Neil.
I don't really know about circle equations, so I'm just learning it right now.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. So, anybody else? See, you guys don't have to be shy. You don't have to be, to think too much. If I say something wrong, people will laugh. Nobody laughs here. All of us have a very, very bad sense of humor. Nobody laughs here in the class. Yeah, we don't have to laugh. Because everybody, see, whenever a problem comes to us, right, then that we have to deal with, we don't just solve it. We first wrap our head around that to understand what exactly the question is. What is my understanding of the things? And then we take it forward. So let me start from the most basic step. Rehan, Neil, everybody with me? Yeah? Okay. All right. So let's look at it. If I say the most fundamental thing, what is an equation? I have something like x plus 2y equal to 8. This is an equation. I have an equal to sign. That's what makes it an equation. Some value of x plus 2 times the value of y will get me an 8. That's an equation. And now, for all practical purposes, you guys would say this is a linear equation. This has nothing to do with a circle. And I agree. Yeah? Everybody believes so?
Yeah.
So linear equation is an equation that helps us draw a straight line. If I find out different combination of x and y values, if I put that on a coordinate plane, it will help me draw a straight line. That's why it's called a linear equation. Similarly, if we talk about a circle equation, what does it mean is, it says that it is also an equation, something. Let's say, if I say 2x plus 3y equal to 8 is a circle equation. Again, I'm making it up, okay? You guys don't have to believe this as is. I'm saying, assume that if I ever claim that 2x plus 3y equal to 8 is a circle equation, what that would mean is, like the linear equation was plotting a line for us, or a straight line for us, if I ever dare to say that this is a this is a circle equation, what it will help is, it will probably draw a circle for us. Maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here. Yeah? It will draw a circle for us. Unfortunate fact is, this is not a circle equation. So that's why this poor guy, even if you beat this equation to death, this will not draw a circle for us. Okay? Now, what is a circle equation? Let's look at it. So, I'm saying that based on whatever I have learned with my grey hairs so far, I know that a circle equation is something like this. This seems to be a circle equation, meaning if I put different values of, see, again, first thing first, forget about circle equation, linear equation, quadratic equation, polynomial, whatever nonsense we can think of. Forget about everything else. This is an equation in the first place. This is a contract or agreement between x and y to get this value. Okay. Now, if you change the value of x, correspondingly the value of y will change in a way that the sum of square of x plus sum of square of y gives you a 9. That's the first thing. That basic definition would not change. Are you guys with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm daring to say that this is a circle equation. What that would mean is, if I find out different values of x and y and plot those x and y points on the coordinate plane, this will draw a circle for us, or it will make a circle for us. Let's give it a shot. Let's say I'm picking up some value of x and y. Let's say if I put x equal to 0, if I put x equal to 0, this becomes 0 squared, that is 0, plus y squared equal to 9. So that would mean y squared will be equal to 9, or y squared will be equal to 3 squared. So from this you find out that, okay, y equal to 3. Or if you are more clear about the positive and negative values, you will say y equal to 0 plus 3 or minus 3. If you do a minus 3 square, that gives you a 9. If you do a plus 3 square, that also gives you a 9. So we found that in case of x equal to 0, one possible value of y is 3, and again for the value of x equal to 0, another value of y is minus 3. These are the 2 points we have found. Let's not go further into it. Or let's say if I put x equal to 1, what happens? If I put x equal to 1, this gives me, so 1 square plus y square gives me 9. So y square equal to 9 minus 1, y square equal to 8. 8 is unfortunately not a square of something, so eventually my value of y will be same thing, plus minus 2 root 2. So this is 4 into 2, 4 is nothing but 2 square, so it gives me 2 root 2. So for x equal to 1, I have two values of y, which is, one is plus 2 root 2 and another one is minus 2 root 2. Okay, let's live with this for now. Let's keep it here. So for these combinations, what we are seeing is, I got, okay, 2 more kids joined while I was blabbering, and that is one is Aditya, no, I forgot the name again, Balsu Infi.
That's Nikhil.
That's Nikhil, okay, yep. So my request to you guys would be, always try joining with your display name with your name so that I don't get confused, okay? I'm a very bad guy when it comes to memorizing names, okay? And then we have Vishal also has joined, okay, Vishal dropped out. Okay, so basically we are learning circle equation. So again, going back to the same point, circle equation or any equation for that matter is nothing but a contract between the variables which gives you this output. So I'm claiming that this is a circle equation. Now you look at this. X squared, so we put some value of x and y. When x is 0, y is 3. When x is 0, y is 3. Probably there is some point here. When x is 0, y is minus 3 also. There is another point here. I'm saying this is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3. We got 2 points here. Similarly, when you get 1 x equal to 1, y is 2 root 2. So when you say 1, 2, 3. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Okay. I'm just doing some circles here, which will probably not make much sense for now, but I'm just going with the most basic approach of relating to an equation and what exactly it does on the coordinate plane. So when x is 1, y is 2 root 2. So when x is 1, 2 root 2 will be something 2 into 1.414. So that will be little more than 2.8, somewhere here. And when x is 1, there will be another one here. Okay. So I have not decided on different values. Okay. Other value could have been, when I give y equal to 0, you will find the same value of x as 3 and minus 3. So when y is 0, you will find two values here. So for now I am just joining the point that I have got, and this draws a circle for us. Okay. Now here you don't have to worry about all the points for now. Let's assume that I have two situations when x is 0, y is 3 minus 3. When y is 0, x is 3 minus 3. And when you join that, this gives you the circle here. This draws something looking like a circle. So the most fundamental thing that we have to keep with us is that, okay, if I have any equation that we ever claim to be a circle equation, that is x squared plus y squared equal to 9, or any other equation, if we claim that this is a circle equation, it will be nothing different from an equation where you have an equal to sign, and when you plot the x and y values, plot the value of y for every value of x, when you join those points, it has to draw a circle for us, no denying that. Now, we have still not learned the circle equation or circle theorem. Now let's look at it. So if you guys remember, we talked about linear equations, we talked about quadratic equation also. If I have an equation something like 2x minus 3y equal to 8 versus x squared plus 4y squared, or x squared plus 4y equal to 17. This is a linear equation. This has maximum power to the variable as 1 and it plots a straight line. This one we call is a quadratic equation where the maximum power to the variable is 2. And if you guys remember, versus if you have come across this, if you are ever talking about a quadratic equation, it draws a parabola like this or like this or like this, whatever, depending on whatever equation we are dealing with. What is there to notice is, when you have power to the x, maximum power to the x is 2 and power to the y as 1 or less, it is drawing an open shape which we call as parabola. It might be open upward, it might be open downward, it might be open sideways. As soon as you put a square to y, that is when this gets closed. Now let's look at it. Okay. Now let's look at how this equation is derived. What is the difference between an equation of a circle versus equation of a parabola? Okay. And we are just trying to relate so far. Are you guys okay with whatever I have told so far, or there is something that is getting you a little baffled? No confusion so far? Okay. So now let's look at how did the circle equation come into existence. Now let's say I have, first thing first, if you talk about a circle ever, there are only two things that you need to know for a circle. What are those two things? Radius and the center. So property of the circle says circle is a shape where if you pick a point which is called center, the distance from the center to every point on the perimeter is the same, which is called radius. That part you guys know, right? You would have learned it at a very early age. Yeah? Yeah? Ria, you were saying something?
I was just like,
Yeah, okay. So, if we have to ever talk about a shape as circle, what that means is, it's a shape which has something called a center, and that center's property is that center's distance from any point on the perimeter is the same, and which is called radius. We'll keep that understanding with us, and let's dig deeper into it. So, let's say we are talking about a circle. This pen is not nice. So let's talk about a shape called circle, and you guys can see the coordinate plane, right? The blue one. And I'm saying this is my center, and this is the circle. This is the center of the circle, okay? Let's say this point is, points coordinates are A comma B. What does it mean? If you draw a perpendicular on the x-axis and y-axis, this distance from here to here is nothing but A, and this distance from here to here is nothing but B. Is this part clear to all of us? I have drawn a circle here where my center's coordinates are A comma B. Okay? Now, this is my center's coordinates. If I pick a point here, let's say, okay, on the perimeter, what does it mean? Recalling the property of the circle, if I join this point to this point, if I join the center with, see, this is where my drawing skill comes in my way. So let's say I picked up a point, let's say P, and the coordinates of the point are x comma y. Is that okay? I have just said x comma y. This is a value. Now, here, this is my center whose coordinates are A comma B, and this is my, I have randomly picked up a point on the perimeter whose coordinates are x comma y. What would that mean? If I drop a perpendicular from here to here on the x-axis and the y-axis, this distance is nothing but x. Agree? And this distance is nothing but y. So far, nothing confusing, nothing troublesome for everybody?
no.
Okay. Now, so far I have just drawn a circle where the center is A comma B, and I have picked up a point P whose coordinates are x comma y. And by knowing the property of the circle, I know this distance is the radius of the circle. Yeah? Now the magic begins. Let me drop a perpendicular here. So, if you look at P, and this is the origin center is O, and let's say this point is Q. What I've done is I've just drawn a perpendicular from the center onto this line. So this cuts at Q. What you see here, this triangle POQ is nothing but a right angle triangle. Everybody with me? So I have an uncle named Pythagoras. You all have the same uncle, Pythagoras, who had given a theorem for a right angle triangle, saying if this is a right angle triangle, this square plus this square will be equal to the hypotenuse square. So, meaning if I find out the length of this, so as per one of my favorite angle, OQ is square, this square plus PQ is square, this square will be equal to OP square, or I can say R square. Fine? You all believe my uncle? Bad joke? Bear with me. So, as per Pythagoras theorem, if I have a right angle triangle, the square of the sides, sum of the square of the sides, which is making 90 degree, is equal to hypotenuse square. Now let's look at this one, OQ. What is the length of OQ? Here to here, this is x. OQ is nothing but x minus this length. So that is OQ square. If I have to say, I will say x minus a square. Is this fine? Plus PQ, meaning this length, is nothing but this whole length minus this length. This whole length is y and this length is b. This becomes y minus b square. PQ square is nothing but y minus b square is equal to r square. If I get a fancy idea and say, okay fine, I will not say this is a comma b, I will say this x comma h, h comma k, let's say. Same thing, I will replace a with h and replace b with k. So this becomes x minus h square plus y minus k square equal to r square. This is nothing but the circle equation. This is called the standard form of circle equation. Any doubts? No doubt? Yes, doubt? Okay. So basically, when we talk about a circle equation, this is the standard form of circle equation. And you don't have to say, if somebody says, okay, tell me what is the circle equation, you will not say that this is circle equation because there is an old man named Biren Kumar, he told me this. Because Biren Kumar just showed you how this equation came into existence. Okay, so this is your equation, not my equation. And what I'm insisting on right now is, this is how we look at any equation, any formula that we come across. Dhanvin, this is your first class, so I'm going to bother you more. Does this make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So going forward, don't trust anybody. Even if you think I am a good teacher, don't trust me. If you come across a formula, come across a problem, you can ask me how it is done and then you do it yourself. It's not only for Dhanvin, for all of us, including myself. If we ever come across a formula, if we ever come across a problem, make sure that you question yourself. Why this? Why not something else? And as long as you can justify yourself that, okay, yeah, now I know why this is valid, why this makes sense, then you'll be able to play with it. Yeah? So this is a circle equation or the standard form of circle equation. Riya, any question with that?
No.
No? Dev, Smrni, Sarah, Neil, any questions? No question? No questions? Very clear? You can play with circle equation in future? Rehan, any question, beta? Sunarka? Vishal? No question. So, just because I did that circus and drama on the board and has made you guys believe that x minus h square plus y minus k square equal to r square is the standard form of circle equation. Now you guys don't have an option to go back and say no, this is not, because you guys saw it happening. Deep, agree? Yeah. Okay. So now hereafter, this is our standard form of the circle equation. Where now if we again go back to what did we see? This is what we did. And what was, see, circle is a circle. It will remain a circle for the rest of our life. Where we'll recognize a circle by two things. One is the center, second is the radius. As long as you know about the center, meaning the location of the center, and you know the radius of the circle, you would be able to deal with the circle. So here, what did we see? I'm just trying to do a recap. We saw that the coordinates of the center was h, k, and we had picked up a point x, y, which was on the perimeter, and that defines this. So if you look at it carefully, x and y are the variables that will keep on changing. H and k will not, because that's a fixed point. X and y can change from here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here, and your x and y value will change. What would that change is the relationship between this. Meaning any point on the center, on the perimeter of the circle, to the distance between the center and that point on the perimeter, that will remain your radius, that will not change. Your x and y coordinates would change. Your radius would not change, your x, h and k will not change. Now, if you go to the next level and say, okay, fine, what if my circle moves? Fine, that's okay. If my circle moved in a way that this center of the circle coincided with the center of the coordinate plane, meaning what happened here? This circle I did not squeeze or expand. I kept the same circle, I just moved it. Meaning I moved from the center of the circle from hk to 0, 0. My radius did not change, I did not squeeze it. So then this circle will transform to h and k will become 0, 0. So x minus 0 square plus y minus 0 square equal to r square, the radius square. That did not change. Only thing that changed was h and k. We have just moved the circle. We did not do anything else. So this becomes x minus 0 is nothing but x. So x square plus y square equal to r square. So this is another form of the circle equation that you will deal with. And this equation are same. Only difference being here your center's coordinates have some values. Meaning it's not coinciding with the origin of the coordinate plane, whereas in this case it is coinciding with the origin of the coordinate plane. Any questions? Nikhil, Rehan, Sarah, Smarni,
No, sir.
no questions? See, I'm a teacher who keeps nagging you guys, and that is only with the intent to make sure that whatever I blabber, that has a meaning to it. Okay? All right. Okay, so from this, now let's look at why and how do we use the circle equation. So if somebody gives you, let's say, an equation saying x squared plus y squared equal to 16. From this equation, find out the properties of the circle. And again, whenever somebody talks about finding the property of the circle, you have to only find the center and the radius. Yeah?
Center is 0, 0, radius is 4.
Correct. So here, first thing you will do is, okay, this x is all blank. It has nothing else apart from x. Y is all blank. It has nothing apart from y. That means my coordinates of the center are 0, 0. My circle center and the coordinate planes origin are coinciding. So 0, 0. And then this is nothing but my r square. So x square plus y square equal to 16. 16 is nothing but 4 square. So from this, if you have to find out the property, you'll say, okay, fine, this is my center and this is my radius, 4. No problem so far. Yeah. So all the circle equations that you will deal with, that just talks about how do you decode it and find out the properties of the circle, and then you can play with it. And again, if you go back to the first principle or the concept that I was talking about, when I talked about a linear equation, what did we talk about? Every point on the line, let's say if this is my equation 2x plus 3y equal to 9, every point on the line will follow this contract or this agreement between x and y. Similarly, if this is my circle equation x minus x squared plus y minus k squared equal to, let's say, r squared, every point on the circle will follow this same contract. So the most basic thing that we all know, that if I have an equation, this is nothing but a contract. It is a statement of work in terms of what people like us do in our job, day-to-day job. It's a contract between x and y such that any and every point will follow this rule. I will never ever have a point on the circle which can dare to disagree with this. If it does, either the equation is wrong or the mathematician is wrong. Is that clear to everybody? One yes is needed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So now let's look at what else we wanted to learn as part of today's class. Let me just go through the topics. So we saw what is a circle equation, what is the introduction, what is the standard form of circle equation, decoding a circle equation to understand the properties. So we just saw one example, okay? And then how do you write the equation of a circle in standard form? How do you write the equation of a circle in standard form? So that also we just saw. Now we have few problems that we wanted to solve. What I will do is, I will try pick up one problem and I will try solving it in front of you guys. And then I will give you guys some problems that I would want you guys to try solving it, because that will at least give me an assurance that whatever I explained to you guys, that is actually working. So let's see. Let me pick up one problem first. This problem says, and again for Dhanvin, there is one very boring concept that I used to follow till previous class, which I have changed now. See, I can see Pranit is holding his head, saying one more time, not again. But I have changed it, Pranit, just to make sure it is not boring for you guys. And that concept says, that's a one-liner statement, whoever does the best in a race is a function of how fast or how best that person ran. If you are in a race, I mean, I don't believe that when we are learning or studying we are in a race, but anything wherever you perform, your performance is a function of how you ran, how you did with the task at hand. So Dhanvin, this is the first time for you, so I'm just decoding it. This is my magic formula, magic wand for solving any and every math problem. R stands for read. Whenever you have a question to solve, read it once, twice, 3, 4 times till you are confident. Then once you have read the question a couple of times and you are clear that you understood all the part of the question, then you do analysis. Read, analyze. So when you are doing analysis or analyzing a the situation, you are thinking, okay, I got this information from the question. This is the concept I know. This is the formula that I'm aware of. This is how I'm going to approach this problem. So you're actually making a blueprint for solving this problem. And then comes N, which stands for Nike. Nike's slogan is just do it. So that's why I have kind of captured it that way. The message for you all, okay, I'm not sure if Ria remembers what we discussed in the previous class, but yeah, the message for you all is, if you have a problem to solve, as soon as you get the problem, don't jump on to solve it. Read the question a couple of times, give yourself time to settle down, put your thoughts together, how you want to approach that problem, and then you try doing it. Where we go wrong is, we got a question, we start jumping onto the third step. This is where the likelihood of going wrong is more, okay? So, I must apologize to all the kids, whoever has heard the story so many times, but trust me, this is my way to remind you guys that always follow a pattern, always stay predictable, give yourself enough time to think about what problem you're trying to solve, okay? So we'll just practice that and try solving few problems, okay? So let me solve one problem following the same RAND concept that I was blabbering about. Let me read it for you guys. The question is, if all points on a circle are in quadrant 1, okay, in the xy plane. So first line says, if all the points on a circle are in quadrant 1 in the xy plane, which of the following could be the equation of the circle? So then I have few options here, okay? So I'm just solving this. You guys don't have to attempt solving it. I have problems for you guys to solve, okay? So don't worry about it. First one is x minus 6 squared plus y minus 5 squared equal to 16. Second option is x plus 6 squared plus y plus 5 squared equal to 16. Third option is x minus 6 squared plus y minus 5 squared equal to 64. D is x plus 6 squared plus y plus 5 squared equal to 64. So there are the options given. I'm reading the question one more time, okay? Same, I'm still stuck with the letter R. If all the points on a circle are in quadrant 1, okay? In the xy plane, which of the following could be the equation of the circle? Now, if I read the question one more time, I will start accumulating some ideas around it. Okay? So, what does it say? If all the points on a circle are in quadrant 1. Oh, all the points on the circle in the quadrant 1. So, meaning, if I look at a coordinate plane, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, this is quadrant 4. If all the points on a circle are in quadrant 1, in the xy plane, which of the following could be the equation of the circle? After having heard this, after having read this question so many times, I'm now thinking, okay, all the points of the circle are in quadrant 1. Okay, so basically my circle is somewhere here. And what do we know? We know that, okay, circle equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared. Here I have 16, which is 4 squared. Here also I have 16, which is 4 squared. 64 is 8 squared. This also 8 squared. So I have r. This could be, these are all fine. Radius, I have got radius. And it's a perfect square. Even if it's not a perfect square, I don't have to worry about it. Now, it's saying all in first quadrant. What does it mean to me? What is the property that I can extract from first quadrant?
All points are positive.
All values of x and y are positive. That is what first quadrant says. If I go to second quadrant, my x values are negative. Only y values are positive. Here, that means my h and k are positive. H and k are positive. If let's say k value was minus 3, then it would have become y minus minus 3. This would have become plus. But if this is first quadrant, that means all the values are positive. So it is x minus into plus h square. Similarly, y minus, again, plus of k. My k is positive, square, equal to r square. Meaning, when I break this open, this is all positive. If I see, I can simply knock off these two situations. Because it can become positive, circle equation can become positive, or these can become positive only if I am dealing with a negative value of h and k. Since I have been told that this is the first quadrant, that means my h and k are positive values. That means the positive value, meaning which will translate to negative. So these two are out of equation. I don't have to even consider that. So without solving the problem, just by reading the question a couple of times and wrapping my head around that, I can knock off these two. Correct? So these two are gone. Now look at this situation and this situation. This says x minus 6 square plus y minus 5 square, x minus 6 square plus y minus 5 square, both are aligning with the standard form of the equation. So here, this is possible and this is also possible. Nobody can deny that because there is no other information that we are given here. It doesn't say that, okay, whether my value of h and k, we cannot relate it. It doesn't say that what is the radius also. If it would have told that, okay, radius is 8 centimeter, find out which equation it is. Then we would have said, okay, if radius is r, this is r squared. So this would have been my pick. Here I had two options. So this was more of a question which was saying, okay, fine. If you are given some options and you are aware of some properties, how do you relate that to find out which are the possible answers for this one? So when you are talking about MCQs, right, you are not talking about only one choice. There could be questions where they'll say, okay, fine. There could be more than one answers. So this is where you have to pick this and this both. Because right now we don't have any other information right now. Yep.
All points of the circle are positive, right? That
Yep.
means everything on the circumference. C has a radius of 8. That would go beyond the center of the circle. beyond like the x going into other quadrants with the center of the circle, so your answer would be technically A. Because radius of
That's
4.
a great catch. Wonderful catch. I love that. Now, see, this is where I want you guys to think. Yeah. So this was a great catch, okay? And I had not factored that. Now here, what is Pranit saying, okay? That I was leaning on both could be an option. But the other information that we had in the question was all the points of the circle are in the first quadrant. Meaning none of the value can be none of the value could be, none of the x or y value. Basically, the circle cannot go beyond this or it cannot go in this direction because it goes here, y becomes negative, it goes here, x becomes negative. So it is all in first quadrant. Now look at this carefully. If you pick this situation, okay? If you pick this situation, let's say this is here the coordinates are 6, 5, okay? And your radius in this case is 8, meaning this is 8. So if you look at this point here, if you look at this length alone, this is 8. So x is 6. You are going to the left by 8 points. So basically you are coming to this side. Then it becomes -2. So if you take this one, it is going to this side. But if you take this one, when it's 4, if you move by 4 points in the x direction, you are still well within the first quadrant. That was a great catch. I mean, I love that. I feel like giving you a hug for this one because you're thinking about it. Yeah. So then this becomes out of question now. So this is another part of the elimination, right? This is where when you're looking at these two things, right? Every point, see, questions are not meant for getting us scared. The questions are our only opportunity to get maximum information about it. First thing it said, it's in the first quadrant. So I factored it, okay, this value is positive. So I ruled out these two. Now I have these two. But the other point that Prince brought in here was that everything is in the first quadrant, meaning any point on the x, any x and y value cannot be negative. And that can happen when you either go to second quadrant or go to the fourth quadrant. And when your x value is less than your radius, I mean basically h, your h is less than the radius, that means when you look at this is actually going to this side at these points. So it cannot be big enough a circle which crosses the first quadrant. So that is why you will pick up the first one. Did you guys follow what I was doing, what Pranit mentioned?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So now with that being said, okay. So what did you guys observe? There is nothing great about the circle theorem. We learned it, how it is derived, that we saw. Now when it comes to applying it, there is nothing complex about it. It's just about being vigilant, and when you draw things, you'll be able to catch what could be a potential oversight if you don't visualize it by doing the scratch work. Okay, so let's try solving few problems, and then let's see if you guys are able to apply all that we have learned so far to solve this. Okay, we have a question. I'm reading it. Okay, I'll write it for you guys. Says, given the circle x square plus y square plus 4x minus 4y minus 17 equal to 0. Okay. Sorry, graph the circle with this. Okay. This is the only equation you are given. When it says graph the circle, meaning this is your coordinate plane, and find out what is the center, what is the radius from this equation. So if you guys can find out the coordinates of the center and find out the radius of the circle from this equation, we should be able to graph it. The equation that we have at hand is x square plus 4 square plus 4x minus 4y minus 17 equal to 0. Can you guys give it a shot? If you have to ever graph a circle, it is as simple as finding out the coordinates of the center and then finding out the radius. Once you have the coordinates of the circle and the radius, you will be able to draw it. Yes, Nikhil.
Did you say it's x squared plus 4 squared or x squared plus y squared?
Y square, y square. See. Better? Can I assume that everybody is giving the shot? Smarni, Neil, Sarah, Rehan, Ria, Sunalka, Vishal, everybody? So I'm just reading the question, right? My first part is always this. Graph this circle. This is a one-liner question given to us. Graph this circle where the equation is given to us x square plus y square plus 4x minus 4y minus 17 equal to 0. Dhanvin, are you able to try? No, so try. Okay, so my request to all of you would be try. Even if you go wrong, you will know where did you go wrong, and when we come back to this question, you'll be able to verify it. Okay. Just think about it. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll give you guys probably 2-3 minutes to think and try attempting it. For some of you who have not become very familiar with the circle equation, I am just writing it down here. X minus h square plus y minus k square equal to r square. This is the circle equation. This is the best clue I could give. Ria, are you able to try better?
I think so.
Okay. Now, and again, Deep, are you trying? Deep, if you said yes, you set it to mute button. I'm assuming that everybody is giving it a shot. Yes, dear, Ria.
I think I got it.
Okay. Tell me this.
Because the squares are the same for like x squared and 4x. You can do x.
So for now, you can just give me the answer. What are the coordinates of the the center, and what is the radius? If you can tell me that now, I'll come back to you guys to explain how did you get it.
It's 4, x is 4 and y is 4. And then the radius will be 17.
4 comma 4, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
A radius will be 17.
Yeah.
Since
No?
Radius would be square root of 17.
That's okay. See, if you're able to do it quickly, that gives you time to review your answer as well. Okay, so review is a very important part. Yeah, what is your value?
I found the radius, it would be square root of 17.
Your answer is square root of 17. That is your radius.
Yeah,
How about the coordinates of the center?
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. Yes, Vishal.
I got coordinates of the center as -2, 2.
Okay. And radius?
For the radius, I got square root 17.
Okay. Okay. So got some answers from some of you, and I will try solving it so that you guys can also verify this thing. Okay. Because I did not teach you guys this part of the problem. Okay. So far, we just talked about this one. So let's apply the learning so far to see if this is enough. See, the question that was given to us, Shanvi, this is not a chat forum. Okay, So yeah, no texting, no chat. Okay. If I have an equation, first thing I'll check is we have been given this equation: x square plus y square equal to 4x minus 4y minus 17 equal to 0. This is what we are given. From this we have to find out whether this is a circle equation or not. For anything to be a circle equation, I need square of x and y both. As long as I have a square of x and square of y, you can fairly assume that this is a circle equation, because if you break this x minus h square plus y minus k square, you will get x square plus h square plus 2xh plus y square plus k square minus 2yk. Okay, so you have to have a square and y square, as long as, and this h and k are anyways numbers, so as long as you have x square and h square, x square and y square, you should be fine. So let's go with the assumption that okay, this seems to be a circle equation. Let's see if we can convert that into a circle equation, because our go-to point is this. If I can convert any equation into this form, so Anika is 7 minutes early, so sit down. We'll finish this class and then we'll start for you. If I convert any equation to this form, then h and k becomes my coordinates for the center, and then if this r becomes my radius. So we'll convert this to this form. So to do that, let's look at it. X squared plus 4x. Let's simply put it all the x things together. X squared plus 4x plus 4. I will put here, because a plus b whole square gives you what? A square plus 2ab plus b square. Here x square plus 4x, so this is 2 into 2x, so your b is 2, so this is 2 square, 4. Okay, again going back to this a plus b whole square is what? A square plus 2ab plus b square. This is what I'm trying to see is what form I can convert this into. X square plus 4x plus 4, because this is 4x is nothing but 2 into 2x. So 2ab, this is my b square is this. So we got this one. Okay, we have put this one here. Now, so I have to do a minus of 4 so that this gets nullified. Then look at, so this one is taken care, this one is taken care. Rest all I'm keeping as is. Then y square plus minus 4y. Again, a minus b whole square we know is nothing but a square minus 2ab plus b square. So a is my x and we are, y. So this minus 2 into y into 2. That is how it will become minus 4y. Correct? So here, so this is 2 into 2 into y. So if I put a 4 here also, this becomes y minus 2 whole square. So I have added a 4 here, so I will subtract a 4 again. And then this is taken care, this is taken care, then I have minus 17 equal to 0. What did we get here? X plus 2 whole square. This is x plus 2 whole square. Plus y minus 2 whole square equal minus my 4 minus 4 minus 8 minus 17 minus 25 equal to 0. Now you look at this, x plus 2 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square equal to 25, which is nothing but 5 square. Now you relate this with x minus h square plus y minus k square equal to r square. What is the value of h? H equal to minus 2. What is the value of k? 2. What is the value of r? 5. Did everybody see what I did? Are you guys able to verify what is the difference between what I did versus what you guys did?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So see again, I know this is something that I did not explain to you guys. But the idea is your basic circle theorem or the standard form circle theorem, you have to always keep in mind that okay, circle theorem is nothing but circle, a theorem for circle. This is my h and k, and this says x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared, where h and k are the coordinates of x and y coordinates of the center. That's it. So if you ever have a quadratic equation where you have x squared and y squared, as soon as you see that, first thing you have to do is, can I bring it closer to what I'm familiar with? So you have to find one square, then another square in a bracket, and everything else flushed out to the other side. As long as you can relate that, you should be fine. Vishal, Smarni, Ria, Rehan, Danvin, I know you were thinking that this old man is telling a lot of things in the first class itself, but were you able to follow better? Is this clear?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
See, yeah.
How about you, Siddhartha? Clear to you? Nikhil, clear? 100% clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So what we can do is, I'll pick up another topic for tomorrow. But before we do that, I have few more problems that you would want to solve in the class tomorrow. If you guys get a chance. Okay, so I have not drawn this, okay. So we have to grab this circle. So we got h minus 2, so x is minus 2 and k is 2. So my center is somewhere here, minus 2 and 2 in the second quadrant. And then radius is 5. I'm talking about something like this. When you have a more authentic graph paper, when you draw it, it will look better than what I did on the board. Yep. So we'll probably try solving a few more problems in the class tomorrow so that we get comfortable with the concepts. This one came to you guys as a surprise, apart from what we had learned. So let's try solving a few more problems tomorrow, and then we'll jump on to the next topic for this group. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Is everybody sounding a little more confident than before?
Definitely.
Wonderful. I'll let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll come back to bother you guys tomorrow again, same time. Yep.
Have a good day, sir.
You as well.
Bye.
Yep. All right. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye.